So Wicked for Good has come out and I've finally just seen it. Now, obviously this is a two-parter because they couldn't just fit this into one film. I mean, this wasn't, having watched this now, that wasn't realistic. I've never watched the actual theatre production. I mean, I've passed it countless times at Victoria Station, so I was well aware of it. I've watched The Wizard of Oz, I've even watched Dorothy Returning to Oz, which is completely separate to this. So my expectations were just that I wanted to have a good time, and that was about it. I didn't really know much about Wicked generally, aside from the basics of the story. But I would highly recommend that you watch the first one first, if you haven't watched Wicked, and I'd actually recommend, having come out of it, that you re-watch the first one first, because there were times where I was trying to play catch-up. My God, there's no recap, there's no previously on Wicked. And I'm going to keep this as a non-spoiler review, but also this is literally my instant reaction to watching it. So I've given myself no time to think, other than what I saw in the cinema. But essentially, Elphaba's been ostracised. I do like the fact that The Wizard of Oz is now essentially, which is happening in parallel with, I think it's the second half of the movie, it's just a propaganda piece is what we found out. I found that a very interesting concept. I know some people will hate that, but yeah, I mean, someone who isn't massively involved with the law, I found that interesting. And you've got the whole love triangle thing going on. I will say, right, because Ariana Grande was one of the big gets for these two movies. I thought she was better in the first one. I think the way she was written was better in the first one. It's not a personal criticism of her, because there's only so much they can do with so many things. I mean, I thought there were, look, with the love triangle, I get it. The first one, it was good. It made sense with the story. With this, it still makes sense with the story. No criticism at all in that sense. But there was a fight in there where it's like, really? Like, this feels a bit out of place. The costumes were just as good. The design, the whole cinematography, just as good in this movie. I mean, this was just brilliant top to bottom. I mean, I watched Frankenstein, which is totally different to this. And we've had a treat recently of movies that just have incredible, I'll say 1990s, 1980s, I'm better than the 80s now, and noughties, big set budgets looking fantastic, just over the top fantastic. I mean, The Wizard of Oz has to look over the top, but they did a fantastic job with this. And I thought that when you think about shows or movies that they take their time to set up what happens and to set up the story, set up storylines, and then you get the payoff later. I thought, again, they did a really good job with this. The second half of this movie is all go. In fact, I thought this film could have been longer, if I'm being honest. There were some events in it where it's like, we could have taken longer with that. Very rare I go away saying a movie should actively have been longer. Sometimes I'm like, well, they could have added a bit on here, a bit on there, or maybe this, more times it's like, maybe this movie should have been a bit shorter. But actively, I think this movie needed a bit longer. Not a third film, though. It did not need to go Hobbit on us. And I like the way, as I said, they built the world, the way that, you know, the masses are having to consume these propaganda pieces, and how everything isn't as it seems. And, you know, the two main characters, Glinda and Elphaba, are just, they're in a bit of a conundrum with the way they are. One's playing into the whole Wicked Witch thing in a way, but isn't actually a Wicked Witch. And the other one is torn as to what to do, because she's the good. But another criticism I'd have, and I haven't watched the stage production, as I said, but there are bits in it where I'm like, you've directly taken that from the stage production, haven't you? The way that you've done this, because it doesn't quite work for a movie. It's nothing bad that kills the movie or makes you, oh my God, this is dreadful. Oh my God, I'm bored. But it's a bit like, yeah, it didn't quite work, did it? Because when you change mediums, there are things that you need to tweak and alter for the type of thing that you're going for. So whether it's a movie, a theatre production, graphic novel, comic book, whatever format you're using it on, each of them has different strengths, different weaknesses, and you need to tweak it a bit. It's just unavoidable. Now, when it comes to music, which is all important in these things, I never watched the stage production. So when I've seen some people saying, oh, it's not as good, it's like they're comparing it to that. Whereas, I don't know, take some of the Disney movies like Lion King, Aladdin, right? I'm not talking about the stage production. When it comes from movie to movie, because I've never seen them live on stage, I can go, oh, that song was better here, that song was, the original was better here than this one. I've got reference. I had no reference with this. I thought the music was fine. I thought it was good. I'm not generally someone who goes to musicals or watches musicals. I'm not against them. There are some good musicals out there, but I'm not enough of an aficionado or someone who's just, I'm really into this, to really have an opinion outside of, that was bad. Yeah, that was good. And you know what? Yeah, it was good. So I think if you're casual, you'll enjoy it. I think if you're like me, you'll enjoy it. If you're really into it, I can't answer that for you. But this film was made for the cinema, the big screen experience. You will enjoy it at home. So in conclusion, if you can get to the cinema to watch it whilst having watched the first one, and preferably having rewatched the first one, I'd recommend go and watch it. The score. It's so weird saying that for a musical, an adaptation of a stage musical, but the score, the music, brilliant. The cast, done really well. Yes, there were flaws in the storytelling. Yes, it could have been a bit longer. Those are my criticisms, but it looks beautiful. It sounds brilliant. I'd say it's not as good as the first one. No, I'd say the first one had some of the less of the criticisms I've given for this one. So I'd say overall the first one was better, but it's a two-parter and it does the first part justice. You have to go and see it if you want to see the conclusion. I mean, you need to see the conclusion. Why would you watch the first one, enjoy it, and then not go? If you didn't enjoy the first one, sack it off. But the story is concluded. It's done part in parallel with The Wizard of Oz. You get different perspectives. It looks great. You'll have a good time overall. But what did you think? Did you think maybe this was like, oh my God, I can't watch this, so I'm better to see what it's like when I've seen the stage production? Or maybe you think this is the best thing since sliced bread? Well, let me know below in the comments. Please like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff. If you want more content from this channel, your support is appreciated. And until next time, I will see you later.